make her mouth just like toothpaste.
Get a lot of shit just move operator. I drop top of my wheel, baby. That car driving make you feel so.
I be feeling like the man when I walk through. Ain't something what you saying when I walk through.
I had to hit her from the back, then dip up at it. I don't know what it is, but it's something about it.
Get the fuck out my face, fuck nigga. Where the hell you was at when the nigga had nothing?
Quit going in on these niggas. I won't stop. Keep putting my money over these. Stand down, hard time, what it took to get him. A lot of pain, a lot of crime, what it took to get him. I'm getting too much money to be worried about a nigga. I got 4 houses in Atlanta, no more home invasions. And I post my pic when I leave. Ay, I hop out of bed and read my daily bread. Good morning, baby. I told her Kush.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, and I'm not buying it. Let me say this from the jump. I think Rich Homie Quan was quietly taken out. Kind of like what happened to Pimp C. Kind of like what happened to Whitney Houston. Kind of like what happened to, man, listen, the list goes on and on and on. It's a dirty game. But we're going to get into that in a minute. So for those of y'all who don't already know, Atlanta rap icon Rich Homie Quan dead at 34 years old. The Fulton County Medical Examiner confirmed the death of the rapper on Thursday afternoon on the 5th of September 2024. Have y'all heard the 911 call tape? I heard Shorty's voice quivering. And when I say Shorty, I'm talking about the female that was speaking in the video, or in the recording rather. Her voice was trembling, right? But it was a faint kind of tremble. It wasn't the kind of tremble, or it wasn't the kind of reaction you would get if a spouse found her lover dead in the house that they share together. I'm not playing the voice note here, but I'm going over what it said. I'm sure all of you heard it. And if you haven't heard it, you can just type it into YouTube, and I'm sure somebody else will play it because it's been posted like 1,000,000 times already. She said he did not come to bed last night. He was up and he was out in the living room on the couch, and I went to bed. And then I woke up this morning and he was still on the couch. I put a blanket over him and I took my son to school, or took my child to school. I don't know if it's a son or a daughter. Thinking it's a son because they said that Rich Homie Quan got 4 sons. Took my son to school. And when I came back, he was still in the same position. Now I'm checking him. He's not breathing. There's no sign of a heartbeat or nothing. The way how she was calm saying all that, it said a whole lot to me. I detected nervousness more than anything. And not the kind of nervousness where, because I know a lot of people are going to say, man, listen, everybody grieves differently. Some people cry out loud. Some people go silent. And I understand all that. But when you call in 911 to say, I think my lover is dead. I think my man is dead in the living room because he ain't breathing. He's on the couch stretched out right now. Your voice is supposed to sound a little bit different than that. I mean, there was no urgency whatsoever. There was no urgency on the part of the 911 caller. Now, that's because the 911 caller's job is to keep frantic people calm so they can get all the right information and give all the right instructions. I get that. But Rich Homie Quan's girl, something ain't adding up. The first thing I thought to myself was, who was he with prior to him laying down on that couch? Now, I know that house has cameras. I know that house got a surveillance system. They got a break-in culture in Atlanta. There are robbery teams in Atlanta who focus on robbing the houses of people who are rich and famous. Rich Homie Quan fits in that group. So, Even said it in a song. He knows he has to move in a certain way. So he never posts pictures of where he's at until after he leaves those places. That kind of stuff. So I know he has surveillance cameras all over that house. Who was it that was with him prior to him falling asleep? Now, I've seen Boosie's post, and Boosie said something like, I just spoke to you. And he said, rest up, and your legacy will live on, and all this other good stuff. But, I mean, what Boosie was saying was like, they close, right? Just talked to him. Didn't expect this to happen. But at the end of it, Boosie said he heard from close people that he took a bad pill. He took a bad pill. Now, if y'all don't know it, there's some potent stuff out here right now that's killing people. And if you got any nieces and nephews, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, anybody you care about who you know dibble and dabble, they don't have to be no hardcore junkie. If they dibble and dabble, they might pop a X, pop a pill every now and then, pop a perk every now and then. Let them know that there's something out here. I don't know if it's that fentanyl or if it's something else, or it's the combination of fentanyl laced with whatever it is else they are trying to take. But it's taking people out, and people are talking about, I got a low tolerance for this type of stuff, so I'm going to take just half of a pill, or I'm going to just pop one pill. And they end up dead off that one pill, one bad pill. There's been studies shown that traces of fentanyl strong enough to kill 5-10 people are found in one pill. So it ain't hard to say. Now, back to Rich Homie Quan's situation, though. Could it be the possibility that Rich Homie Quan, he pop a pill every now and then? I've seen him. I see the way he functions in interviews. Very intellectual guy. He is not the type of rapper that talks like he's chewing on bubblegum and speaks in straight Ebonics only, and you can't understand what he is saying unless you're from his trap in his hood. He's not that kind of guy. He has an international appeal. He has some intelligence to himself. He knows how to articulate himself when he is on an interview. So he probably could have been one of those people that pop a perk, pop a pill, whatever else kind of pill except for perk that he pops every now and then, dibbles and dabbles in different types of drugs. Most artists do. And today he just caught a bad one. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Where my narrative is leading, when I started out by saying, I feel like this is the same thing that happened to PMC. I feel like this is the same thing that happened to Whitney Houston. There's a part of the music game that a lot of people don't know about. And that part of the music game is the part where you are now worth more dead than you are alive. Or you being alive is holding up projects that are worth millions of dollars. You better pray that one of your business partners ain't running low on cash and need that money, because they'll start thinking of things if they're not too good of a people or loyal to you on how to get you out the picture. Because as long as you're here, say for instance, Rich Homie Quan has a body of work, an album or two worth of work. Songs nowadays, albums and singles can be used in a billion different things, from movies to TV commercials to just putting out streams, put it out as a single, put it out in an album. You name it, it could be used. They could remix it, do version 2, part 2. They could do all kinds of stuff to it. The potential is limitless. And when you have people who made money, a lot of money off music together already, the platform is already set for whatever comes next to sell. But if you have one person saying, nah, I'm not ready for that yet, put that on the back burner. But you got the other person saying, man, but we need this money right now. let's put this project out right now. And the other person saying, nah, I'm not ready yet. The money not right. Y'all ain't talking good money. We not splitting up no $2 million. It's worth more than that. Put it on the back burner. Didn't y'all notice that when Michael Jackson passed away, Michael Jackson's music started being in everything and everywhere, and all kinds of people who could not clear a sample when he was alive were clearing samples and doing music with his music after he passed away in commercials that I don't think he would have approved of. I mean, we see it all the time, man, with many different artists. They say Rich Homie Quan was independent, but was he? Was he really independent? Did he own all the rights to all his work? Did he own all his publishing? He's probably somewhat independent, but not 100% independent. So I'm looking at Rich Homie Quan's situation like this. Something is off. Something looks suspicious. And I'm not buying what they're selling. Today is September 6th of 2024. They already announced yesterday, right after he passed, that his autopsy was set up to be done today. So naturally, we will know in a short period of time what the result is, what caused his death. But here's the thing. I don't even trust those. Because money talks and bullshit walk. And there's a lot of people in places of positions of power who are connected or can be paid off or bought out. So it ain't nothing for somebody to pay somebody and say, hey, make the autopsy say this. He died from an overdose. He was at home chilling on the couch, watching some movie. He popped a couple beans and one of them was bad and it took him out. His girl said he did not come to bed last night. And she thought nothing of it. Nah, I mean, that happens in relationships, right? He out there sleeping on the couch. I don't know. Maybe we not in the mood for each other tonight. Maybe we had an argument earlier during the day. Whatever it is, I'm going to just go ahead and take my ass to sleep and we'll talk about it tomorrow morning or whatever. But you wake up in the morning and he's still on the couch, same place you left him from last night. And you just throw a blanket over him. You didn't look at him. You didn't say, babe, why don't you go into bed? Why you slept out here? What, you mad at me? No, nothing. You just threw a blanket over him, took the child to school. You come back from taking the child to school, and he's still in the same position that you seen him in from last night to this morning to after you took the child to school and got back to the house, and that man did not move. And now it's dawning on you that something might be wrong. I ain't buying it. One of the ways that you could be infiltrated if you move like how Rich Homie Quan used to move is by people who you trust. Yeah. Not every smiling face has a heart full of gratitude and a heart full of love for you. You know what I mean? You got to keep the grass trimmed low. That's old school talk because them snakes slithering. Some of the times that snake could be bae. That snake could be the person you wrapped up in that bed with. The person you sharing breaths with. Breathing in each other's faces at nighttime. Some of the time it could be your closest homies who came up with you from sandbox days. Somebody gets to them. Somebody tells them, hey, listen, 50 bands. All you got to do, because we know he take these kind of pills. So all you got to do is slip this one in there or make him take this one. Try to find a way to get him to take this one. Mission accomplished, 50 bands, 100 bands, 200 bands, whatever the case is. Artists like Rich Homie Quan and many others, it's important for them not to eat everywhere, drink everywhere, trust anybody around their food or anything that goes into their bodies. Artists over time have been known to be poisoned by vindictive people for whatever different reasons there are. Hell, they do that to regular people. For life insurance policies, you got husbands poisoning their wives, wife poisoning her husband's coffee, doing it every morning, slow poisoning him. He getting sicker and sicker and can't figure out what it is. You know, we see these stories all the time, so it's not far-fetched what I'm saying. Now, when the autopsy comes back today and the autopsy says Rich Homie Quan died from fentanyl or a mix of different combination of drugs or whatever, the public is going to accept that because you have no choice. You got to accept what you're told. I mean, what else are you going to do? But I'm letting you know right now, I don't have all the answers, but I'm not buying this one just like that. I think something smells funny. Something seems weird. And I want you to leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me if I'm the only one that's thinking this way. I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV / BrainFLoTv. Y'all already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. Rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan, man. He came, he saw, he did it big. And that's for sure. I'm out. Peace.